see who invites you to come up and co-host JRR Token. And then Rob, I don't know if you want to sign in on your phone from the End is Pi account, and we can add you as a speaker as well, and then people know how to click on the information needed. It's Gary. Good to see you down there. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm trying.
We're letting the room fill in right now. And
how I don't see. Like to leave and come do that.
let me see here. Maybe in the top right, it would say add your channel, possibly.
Hey, Novo.
Avery, what's going on, my friend? How are you?
Doing good. How's everybody?
Doing well, doing
Very
well.
good. Good to see you. Good to see you.
If you want to add yourself to being a speaker in Spaces, well, I can add you in there.
See if yeah, definitely. Let's see if I can.
We're going to follow you up there. We're just getting the room set up for those of you listening out there. For all my aliens, apes, and zombies, I want to welcome you to Sunday Fun Day in the Novoverse. We got some great things lined up. Let's see. We're going to get something pinned up here so you can actually visually see what we are actually talking about. So the speakers up here will be muted. You'll hear their voices coming through my microphone because we are actually simulcasting this live video on a couple different platforms, including YouTube channels and Twitch channels. So definitely follow and like all of those, subscribe to them. And we're going to be leading off here shortly. After we get the room filled in a little bit here. And we're pulling up
What's going on? I am so pumped. So pumped for tonight. It's going to be awesome.
So that is here hearing the voice of JRR Token, a good friend, back again. I'm just making sure the video feed is up and running. You can watch it in the Novoverse. You can just type in Twitter up there, Novoverse or Paris Shilton NFT. And there we are, live video action. And I should probably retweet that as well so people can see what's going on. And we also have co-host Avery Piper. AP, are you? Let's see if you're down in the crowd. There you are.
I'm in the crowd.
We'll pull you up to speak as well. Emily, good seeing you down there. And also seeing you at Beeple. And we'll be talking about Friend Tech. And actually, Emily's just like, yeah, you gotta get in Friend Tech here. And that eventually turned into Craig reinforcing that the Monday I came back from Beeple. So that was 6 days ago. Rob, your connection is looking real good. So you can check out our AR filters that we have going on now. We have a CryptoPunk. It is an AR filter. We have a Clone X, which is JRR Token. And Rob Shields, the creator of End of the World Pizza. And you can find that at the End is Pi, where on October 20th, he will be having his comic book NFT, AR comic book NFT, the best one on the planet, most advanced, being released into the galaxy. And then we also have our friend, which we'll be talking with in a little bit here, that got me into, pushed me over the edge, I should say, into Friend Tech. And that is Craig Coin Purse, all the way from Australia. But we'll lead it off with Avery Piper. AP, how have you been? How are things on the East Coast? I know that you guys got flooded out a little bit while back, but I hope you're all dried out here. What's going on, my friend? How have you been?
Not bad. Yeah. Thank God no floods for me, but definitely plenty of folks I knew were affected. So, but everything seems to be okay now, back to normal. Finally, like a chilly day, which I know you're not unaccustomed to, Novo. But yeah, I actually heard there was like a record-breaking marathon or something today. But anyways, yeah, life is good. Brooklyn's great, and super excited for this show. I think I really feel so unprepared and like I don't know what's going on in terms of even in friend tech world, but I'm excited to learn. So yeah.
That's what it is. Along for the ride. That's what you're going to get. Buckle up, because we are going to be talking friend tech. And remind me, we also have a POAP in about 25 minutes from now. We got a POAP word coming out, so it'll be activated in about 25 minutes. So remind me on that, and also maybe an icebreaker. Think of a good icebreaker for us,
Oh
because
wow.
but right now, but we'll pass the baton over to JRR Token. That is the one that is looking like, that is the Clone X, not looking like a Clone X, but is the Clone X up here. Good friend, and actually the one that led me down the path to getting a slice of this end of the world pizza, because I do have a driver, and that's driver number 33. Tell us, well, for one, tell us
Well,
everyone a little bit about yourself, and then two, anything else you want to add in.
well, good to be back, everybody. It's JRR Token here. Big part of the Novoverse, and that journey started, right in 2021, very early with Novo and Best Car X. And when that journey started, I was, Novo obviously had the sickest PFPs ever. He had dozens of crypto punks. It was amazing. But there was one PFP. He had his forever PFP, which he's wearing now, and as we all know, has become, a stellar character and iconic persona within Web3. And on my journey, I was trying to find what was my first PFP, what was going to be my identity. I certainly was not in the luck for any CryptoPunks, but when I found this, I knew this was it. So this was really important. I came across the drivers and End of the World Pizza, created by Rob Shields, who's with us tonight. And when I saw this art and this aesthetic and the rest of the collection, which we will go through tonight, I was absolutely blown away. It was just spoke to me in the style of art that it was one, hand drawn. These were not generative. That this was so early. I guess this is July of 21 when I minted this. This was at those crazy times of gas wars where you didn't have your own minting sites. Rob was doing these drops about what was it, like maybe it was like 3 drivers every weekend, and everyone would gas war to try to get it. And when this one came up, I was praying, and I was able to actually mint this baby. And this is all handmade. And Rob, who's an incredible illustrator, he's on tonight. Started from this, for me, my journey with him started with this driver, and I have a gallery now, but it led into a lot of incredible things. A lot of different pizza slices, an incredible the narrative, and when I read about what the story was and what was going to happen with this project, was pretty insane. But I trusted it. And one of the things that's really important about tonight's show is we're going to learn a little bit more from the creator. Sorry, my mouse is always going crazy when I'm sharing. Can't handle what's going on here. So one of the about this show is that we're talking about one of those projects that isn't a rug, a project that comes through with its promise, and a project that many of us have talked about and heard about as we've been in this Web3 journey for a long time, and have been rugged many a time by projects that say, sorry, it didn't work out, sorry, the team exploded, sorry, something happened, or they just disappeared. Tonight, we're going to kind of celebrate a successful launch of the end of a project where Rob, the creator, promised his community an incredible journey as well as an augmented reality comic. that's going to come to life and going to be in the hands of the collectors, and hopefully a lot of people tonight after they hear about this and learn more about it. If you're a comic fan, if you love amazing illustration, if you love augmented reality, and you like hearing success stories of Web3 projects that fulfill a roadmap, tonight's the show. This is it. So without further ado, I mean, I would love to have Rob, step up, say hey, and introduce himself a little bit, introduce his project, and we could get into a conversation tonight about the End of the World Pizza, the incredible story, and the experience that's come to everybody right now. Well, not everybody, coming to collectors. I should be very specific about that.
Hey guys, sorry, my connection is not cooperating with me. So can you guys hear me? And am I in like anything close to real time?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're good. Looking good.
we
That's
can hear
good
you
news.
great.
Yeah, I downgraded my DPI, so I might be a little bit pixelated, but hopefully that's not a huge deal. So yeah, thank you so much, Token, for that introduction. I'm sorry I was like quiet the whole time. I'm just over here looking at my stupid bars.
All good.
And yeah, that was a great introduction to talk about like what happened to us, and the big thing that we're excited about now that I'm getting ready to release is End of the World Pizza, the comic. So this is my third augmented reality comic book, and I think should we watch the trailer before?
I think that's great. I think it's a wonderful thing. This is the trailer, hot off the presses right now, and if you wait till the super end, it shows the mint date and everything. So without further ado, I think if I hit play here, I think it goes right on and plays on the big screen. If not, I might have to rewind it, but we'll see what happens.
You're not playing. It's not in screen. You're not playing it. It's not in screen.
Take two.
No,
Thank you.
no, you're not. It's not in it. Yeah, you're not showing it. You're showing the website. There we go. I see. Find the killer. Rewind that.
Yes.
Take it from the top. First look at the AR trailer for End of the World Pizza.
Nice.
Wow.
That
Pretty-
is.
Holy crap. That's
Pretty
cool.
sick. So, just so everyone understands, that's not just that's an augmented reality experience coming off the pages of the comic. Is that right, Rob?
Yeah, so the videos that you see are actually what's going to appear on the comic book. So it kind of matches. It's a cross between a comic book, a cartoon, and a video game. And the video games that you see in there are actually video games that are in the comic book that you play, that have to do with the storyline. So all that stuff is like straight out of the comic book. It's not like a pre-rendered thing that you're not going to see. That's exactly what you're going to see in the book.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, and I'm like, I want to kind of get into what went into making it, because I think that's part of the insanity. Like, not only did you're also really the developer of the entire thing, like, and community manager and minter and NFT creator. Like, you're almost a complete one-man show. Although I shouldn't say one man. I think you have some help in your on your team, but it's pretty insane. Maybe you want to tell us a little bit about the storyline and what this is all about. Like, what is End of the World Pizza, and what are people going to experience in this story?
Yeah, for sure. Could I go through my slides? Is that cool? We have
Yeah, it's
we have good
perfect.
time for that.
Hell
'Cause
yeah.
I can kind of like
That's
do
great.
all the.
You can
Yeah, go
watch,
for it,
you
man.
can visually watch what you have up on the pinned tweet. There's two of them up there. One will talks about the End is Pie, the drop on OpenSea on Friday, October 20th, and then the other one pinned up at the top as well actually shows live video of what we are talking about, and we're with Craig Coinpurse, Avery Piper, Rob Shields, Dr. Doge is down there. We also have back again JRR Token, and we're going to be sharing some slides from. I'm trying to find in the green room. Rob, you're gonna
Yeah, I'll send them out. So I was just waiting.
there we go, and we're actually be looking at live action of kind of like the deck of End of the World Pizza. So take it away, my friend.
Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to start to show a little bit about like where we came from, so people can get a sense. So this is our second year. 2021 was the Genesis collection, the utility NFTs, and the profile PFP collection, and then basically all that stuff is sold out. 2022, we actually got to team up with Pizza Hut and do free pizza for a year, and that was huge. Thank you to Token who set that up. That would not have been possible without him.
No, that was really fun. I mean, like, not to blast through it too quick, but like the Genesis collection again was like a non-generative collection of drivers and then like vehicles and then the neon demons. You want to like go into that just a little bit?
Well, no, I do. I have
what that is.
I have other slides, but yeah, I just want to do the overview. And then, and like what we're coming up to now is like our first big roadmap completion, which is the comic, the merch shop, and the metaverse, which is a dedicated metaverse for End of the World Pizza. And those are all happening on Friday, October 20th. So like all three come out at the same time. To go over some of the things, this is a look at the drivers. These were the original PFP collection that I created that are one of one, hand done. Not all of them are animated. Only a select few are animated. I think there's 5 animated. Of 118 that are total, and they're all sold out. I think the floor is like 0.25 right now. Those are like the platinum edition NFTs, and they give you the most perks. Like you can get a free comic book if you own one, and you get discounts in the shop, and you get revenue share, and you get a bunch of other things. Like down the line, you're like the number one first spot to like anything else we do. And then the Neon Demons were the PFP that was generative, so they're still hand drawn, but they're procedurally generated, and they're kind of like the gold tier. So they give you like similar things to what the drivers got, but a little bit less. So there's like the digital comic you get access to, and you still get like discounts in the shop and some revenue share and some early access to stuff. So those are the main collections in 2021. And then 2022 is Pizza Hut, which was like a huge part of that year. And it was we got to do dedicated drivers for them. So you see them on the top left. We got to do dedicated hover rides for them with the Pizza Hut branding on it. And then we actually got to be
this was super fun.
And we got to get pizza. Like that was so cool. It's like we're doing an NFT project about what we're giving people real life pizza that they're going to eat like with their families or with their friends. And the thing that I did was the Pizza Hut AR pizza box, where the city comes out of the pizza box, and you could like explore the city. And if you found like little Easter eggs in it, it gave you a code that you could bring back to our Discord, and then that gave you an entry to get free pizza for a year. So like anybody that got these NFTs got free pizza for a year, and then we also got to give one to our community. So that was like, for me, I think my highlight in like all the stuff I've done in Web3.
That's a highlight for major companies in Web2 and any Web3 project that I've heard almost to date, and that includes the ones that are in Walmart currently, et cetera, et cetera. Congratulations on getting into Pizza Hut. I knew about it. I remember talking to Avery about it at work when we used to work at Vayner, and we were very jealous, and we who got better because it was just so cool, and it got in there, and the success of it congratulations. I remember retweeting the heck out of it. And I mean, just hats off to yourself. I think, JR Token as well, because,
Yeah, I mean, this is our
For sure.
little baby. We have, of course, he'll get into the story, but of course, pizza is such a key piece. So, when you have a community around a huge pizza narrative, what could we do to bring it to life? Well, partnering officially with Pizza Hut and then bringing it to Complex Land with Complex was, can't go bigger. And I just love when people got who did win got the pizza for the year, and that was awesome. They were feeding a lot of mouths at pizza parties, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Talk about utility.
It's really funny that it's like this dystopian dark story, and we kind of like snuck it in with like colorful art and the tech. I think that's what like sold it. But yeah, it was great to see like I wasn't sure that it was gonna happen. I was like, don't get my hopes up, because you get like these offers and then it doesn't work out. But it was so cool that it actually happened. So yeah, that was almost all of 2022. The other thing I did in 2022 was I finished my second issue of Neon Wasteland, this is my other augmented reality comic book that's full color. It does a lot of the same stuff that End of the World Pizza does, but I perfected a lot of the stuff in End of the World Pizza in this book. And then that brings me to the comic book that's launching not this coming Friday, but next Friday. There's 3 different versions. There's digital on the far left. That's basically sold out. That goes to holders. Then there's the main edition, which is what you see in the middle. This is a physical book, so you get 66 of the physical. There's 560 old, and 100 physical book comes with gold one, the overlay, and it has an extra AR filter that everything.
I think you're breaking up a little bit there.
Yeah, it's cutting out.
Losing your audio, Rob. Sorry.
But a lot going on because the filter within what he has going with 100 or less, or 100 that he has right there. You got it there? Back on? Mic check.
Yo, I'm back.
What up, Dr. Doge? 666.
Better. I just killed mine.
Yeah. Without the video, you're coming through a little much better.
I just killed the 666 total. There's 100 available after the holders get their hands on them. Main that you can unlock in the comic book. So you gain the main book. You can actually demo it right now for free. So if this is actually a pinned tweet on our Twitter, which is the EndisPie, formerly Twitter. So you can go to this image. I mean, you could do it here too, but we're going to go past it. But so if you go to our Twitter, you can go to the pinned tweet. Just look at the QR code. It'll download the app for free. The app's always going to be free. There's no microtransactions, no paid anything. And then you just basically point it at these images and come to life, sound, the parallax, and then this right image here is actually, there's going to be a button, and then if you press it, it'll open up these panels into one big panel, and then you can use your accelerometer or gyroscope on your phone. Control as me. So like this basic look at like the comic book functions like and sounds like. Just real quick, I don't know how many people use AR, but it's essentially just you point your phone over the image and it brings it to life. And there's like some limits to this, but there's also benefits to it. For me, like the way I see the future is like no more phones. Like I honestly can't wait till my smartphone is dead and that I just have glasses and it's heads up display and my hands are the interface and my eyes. But we're like not quite there yet. Like the tech is there, but it's just not easily affordable. So making an app that utilizes all that stuff is only for like a very small percentage of the population right now. So I'm just like leaning into, we'll do that eventually. But right now I'm going to use the tech that everybody has in their pocket right now. Am I still okay, guys? Am I breaking up or?
No, it sounds perfect. You're hearing
No,
the
you're
voice.
good, Rob.
You're hearing the voice of
Crystal
Rob Shields
clear.
right now, and you can see what we're talking about above in the first pinned tweet. But then also on the newest pinned tweet up there, you can actually scan the QR code and sample, the AR filter content from within from his art style and his books that he's creating with his animation, comics, pretty much experimental technology here that you're saying is just going to be, and I agree, is just going to be the next phase in how we are enjoying life is dropping the phones and it's just embedded with our eyewear and it just adds enhancement towards it. And yeah, I'm using it right now as a AR filter on for my CryptoPunk. And
It's like everything about this project is what is like geeks me out completely. It got everything. It has it started as a Web3 NFT collection that acted as the token gate. Not only that, but Rob, I believe the drivers are all or most are integrated characters into the comic itself. Is that correct?
So there's 118 of them, so not all of them are in there quite yet, but there are 30 featured in this first issue, and then there's going to be 2 other issues. So eventually there will be all the drivers featured, and the demons are also part of the story as well.
It is so sick. Like I love that because it gives me that feeling like, okay, my investment of, going on this journey of getting the token, allows me to bring it to life. And that's like, that's what I love what Novo does, that he uses his CryptoPunk as, ability to make content, ability to get it out there. And now, my NFT as well via my driver is going to be able to live on through this comic. Other people will be able to engage. That's also going to allow me to get, access obviously to it. But I'm super pumped about this. It's so cool. And so it's got the AR, but the storyline itself, you were like, this whole project came about way before ChatGPT exploded and everybody was going nuts about AI and freaking out about AI. Can you talk a little bit about the story and what is going on in this pizza post-apocalyptic future?
Yeah. So the funny thing is ChatGPT actually made me more sympathetic to the AI character. I originally conceived of the AI as like the Skynet AI, where it's like intelligent and it's like this other thing that's coming to get you. But when you see AI now, not intelligent and it's not coming to get you, it's running it coming to get you. And it's where like the AI is just like the big green head, and like the people that are actually there to get you are like just regular people like Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, so I can talk a little bit about, if I can go back to this next slide. The features that I build into it actually kind of play into what the story's about. So the first thing is full motion and sound, which I kind of talked about. The cool thing about this is that the soundtrack actually changes as the pages do. So you control the soundtrack by what you look at and how fast you turn the pages. There's no narration. Some AR comics have done narration, and it kind of like forces you to read at their pace. And it's like, I don't like that. I want to be able to, however you want to read it. And then this second one, the comic scanner, this kind of gets into what the story's about. So the idea is the story is about a detective who's hunting for a serial killer inside of an artificial world where AI has stolen everyone's face. And the meta story is that the detective is actually you as the reader, because you get this scanner that lets you like sort of scan the book. And as you start to uncover this stuff, the book kind of treats you like you're this threat that's like trying to attack it. And so it kind of like starts to mess with you and it tries to like mislead you. And you, by interacting with it, you can kind of discover what's really happening. And there's like certain choices that you can make that can affect future issues. But the scanner is like your main tool, and it lets you dox the characters and explore the crime scene. You can open up panels like you see on the far right here, where like the entire layouts of the pages can change and become this whole different thing, and you can actually move into the scene. And then also this scanner lets you on games. So there's 3 mini games. There's the demo one, which we talked about, and you can play this one now. And then there's the mini boss and the final boss. The mini boss is hidden in the arcade that you have to kind of see if you can discover. But the final boss is like almost impossible to miss. You basically have to run into it. And both of these games are played without the AR. And I did that intentionally because in Neon Wasteland, I made it was a platformer game. That's not as tight. It doesn't feel as much like a game. So in this book, I decided like have games, but they're going to be like these stand much better control. It feels like you're playing someone. And when you beat them, it actually unbacked the comic book much more, and it's just going to make it feel like these games are so much
I think the video on the
Flush them.
slide might. Oh, you're back. There we go. We were hearing you. It was just a little stuttery there, but
This might be a perfect time and a transition to give out a POAP. Why not just give out a POAP? Because
perfect.
we can. And this POAP will be linked with, I think, a art for it somewhere in here. Anyhow, you can find out the art for yourself because you can claim that POAP by just, I think the word is, you have to go to the claim. What do they call it? I forgot the exact word. The claim password. I'm looking it up right now.
The secret word.
Secret word. Is it secret?
The word of the day
The
is.
secret word is pizza. Pizza, all lowercase pizza. First of all, let me know if that works. I think I already claimed it myself, so I don't know if I can.
So what do you go in the POAP app and you just type in pizza?
Just type in
boom.
pizza and pizza. You should be able to get it right there. And
Right.
if not, just DM me and I'll send it to you in DM. I'll have to do some scrambling of numbers or something like that.
So collectors of the POAP will be added to the whitelist, so you'll get access to the whitelist for the drop for the comic, which would be obviously is pretty insane. Again,
1 hour
what
early
you just
to
saw
mint, and you get a
was
reduced.
a comic book, a physical comic book. You'll use AR. You're going to be able to explore every single page of that in this like immersive detective experience, and has mini games. And it looks like, Rob, you're back with this. Like, you also pretty much did this single-handedly. Is that right? Like, as far as the art creation, development, app.
Maybe his sound is still rugging on him.
I think it's the slide is just killing him. Something
Yeah.
in there. His AI is getting hacked and trying to steal his face.
I'm claiming the POAP right now, so I'm clicking away. I'm like multitasking big time, but the POAP is pizza. If you want to get the POAP for tonight's show and see and get some of the art from Rob, which he has created. And then you can also look up on the pinned tweets to see exactly what we're seeing and talking about. And also feel free to retweet the room. And share this with everyone else. And I did get my pizza. I'll show you what that looks like right now. There's some of the art that you could see. End of the world pizza right there. AP Avery Piper, any questions or thoughts? Based around this. I know you're a collector of shoes and comic books in that realm as well. For myself, that we've talked about in prior meetings and stuff, and then in the AR element on top of all of this.
Yeah, I was while you guys were chatting, I was like getting a full download of the pizza shop and all that stuff. Super, super interesting, and also it looks amazing. I remember, Novo, like you mentioned, I think I remember in passing at least like chatting about this or seeing it or you mentioning it, but I guess like getting an understanding of the storyline is really cool too, and it does make it super, first of all, it's super, super inspiring, but it also makes me think about how that's kind of like that's the goal of most of us as I think creatives, is to create something that create stories that are interactive and things that develop over time and can be like malleable that you can play games with, and you can like be excited about what's happening next. I think this is like a really amazing North Star for a lot of creative folks. So yeah, this inspired. I don't really have questions. I think like I said, I need to do even more of a download, but no, I think it's awesome. But what do you
Just
think, Gabo?
going through the full roadmap, successful project, high end technology, um, creative storyline, just right on down the list. And one of those things that Token just brought to my eyes, very similar to getting in with clones very early. It's just like, hey, this is the top of the top as far as technology that's going out there. People that are pushing the envelope in technology and creating storyline. And that's what he's thought of everything. It seems like, to not even putting a reading narrative in it, but you read at your own pace, and the music is based on how the pace that you're reading within the page, and how
The whole thing is insane. It's just crazy how many layers of like content it is. I mean,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about you guys. Like, too, it makes me think of games like even like GTA or something where it's kind of like sandboxy to some degree. Like you go in there and you can kind of do what you want. At least like you can follow stories. You can play the games if you want. Like whenever I think of games that have been successful, at least for me, like a reoccurring thing that I play a lot, I needed some freedom there. Like I needed some options, and I think the fact that there are options within this story to use it to the way that I want it, and to use it, especially with AR and using my phone, which is, of course, like we all agree, it's kind of like phone is kind of a temporary thing, and hopefully sooner than later we'll all be able to like be hands free doing this type of thing, like learning and enjoying content. But whenever there's my main point is whenever there's like open ability for me to make decisions within a game, I definitely feel more inclined to be a part of that universe.
followed it along. Yep. Be part of that universe. 13 POAPs already claimed. You can pay the POAP by just typing in pizza underneath the secret word and get those POAPs claimed. If not, you can just DM me after the show. I can just drop you access towards that. But that will get you on the whitelist as well, so you can get all signed up for it. And even maybe tonight, Rob might be thinking about what we can do next week, because we're going to have him back on next week as well, and further get some more people involved within this storyline and bringing them on. Oh, there, the filter's looking. Woo, that filter's looking. If you click the right button there, my friend, that's the filter. Yeah, look how sharp that is. Voice is not working, but we got the filter looking minty.
Yeah, it's got to be some bug. Yeah, Rob, no audio, but I'm sure you could. Oh, there we go.
Wait, it has my microphone listed twice, so I just keep.
There we go. We got it. You're solid. We're rocking and rolling. Nice.
But yeah, thank you guys for everything you said. I mean, I agree with everything, and yeah. Sorry, I couldn't say anything.
No, it's quite all right. It's time for us. And Craig, do you have any thoughts, questions? I mean, this is just spurred on you, like, oh, this is like dropped in your lap right now. And you can kind of see how we roll, and like what we use is like the friends we roll with. And like, honestly, Rob has been a friend since I think it was July 18th, 2021. When I got my driver number 33, and it was that you had to wait for the weekends. And is either Saturday, Sunday at a random time. You have an hour or two to claim a driver, and I had to wait my turn just like everyone else to claim some great art that I followed the storyline. And
there were like 2 minutes. These babies were going. There was 3, and everybody wanted to get them, and there was a gas war. And it was a miracle if you were able to get one under 2 minutes. So then
we were doing 10. We were doing 10 a weekend,
and it was like less than 2 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think the shortest was like 30 seconds, but yeah. Yeah.
30 seconds sellouts.
And then I never would do that now. That's terrible. It's such a terrible thing. Like, yeah, everybody, let's pay all this gas.
There was no other options. This was how that was how limited options were for minting at the time, and how you could. There were no mint sites when it was like OpenSea, and you just listed it, and it was like good luck. Yeah, definitely lost on some gas wars, but I managed to secure my driver, and I love that driver, and it will forever be my first PFP, and my prized possession, my precious, my precious, so to speak. I love it though. I'm so excited for you, and congratulations on, really, again, congratulations on following through with the project from A to Z. You're at the finish line. It's just got to drop and be shipped, but it's done. It's a huge accomplishment, and I hope you feel that way. I know everyone in the community that we're all hyped for you, and we all, I think it was the most diamond-handed group ever. Really patient, really waiting for you, and knew you were heads down, and you did it, and you crossed in that finish line. It took 2 years, but it was well worth it. And everyone's going to be, who's lucky enough to get this comic, is going to have a true piece of art, not just a comic, but a true piece of art and technological innovation in one. So you really did it. Congrats, man. It's awesome stuff.
Yeah, congrats, Rob. That's
now we're
awesome
on
to
to
see
the members.
you finish a project
Yeah.
and go all the way through. It kind of reminds me the old days. I'll probably show my age here, but the Choose Your Own Adventure books. I don't know if you guys read those years ago. And I was in primary school, and they were a really big hit. Versus just reading a book that took you a certain direction, the Choose Your Own Adventures, where you could kind of pick which way you wanted to go, and it obviously altered the story. So it kind of reminds me of that. And then a bit of, I don't know how do you say the word, the comic book, Aeon Flux type.
Eon Flux from MTV back in the day.
Yeah, man, it's got a bit of that sort of art vibe. So I used to be a big comic book and card collector from back in the day. I guess that's why I gravitated towards NFTs, but I definitely appreciate what you're doing. I think it's really cool, and it's cool to see AR being used like that. Obviously, in a medium that I fell in love with comic art. So I'm seeing this has actually been really cool for me. I'm actually quite glad I got invited up here. Otherwise, I would have I may have actually missed what you were doing, which would have been a real shame, because the quality of the art's incredible. And then just seeing that in AR, I actually can't understand how you've even achieved that many layers with music and that, and with mini games within it. Wow. Yeah, well done, Rob. That's absolute insanity, dude. You should be so proud, bro. That's awesome.
Thanks,
We're going to
man.
be seeing more. We're going to be seeing more of it next week, because he's going to be back on the show, and actually kind of see how the minting process is going, and how the whitelisting is going, and the final stages of it. And I guess that's one thing that I get to do as a host, is sit back and listen to others, as maybe it might be a more higher stress level, because you're finishing through on a project, and it's like the end of a roadmap and the end of a vision. That's, what's next, what's the next phase, what's the next step. But just to see the follow through on a successful project, tassel hats off to that. And Rob, we'll have you back on next week. And if you're listening right now, kind of resetting the room a little bit, you can actually watch live video action, where we have 3 AR filters, JR tokens running around. Is that an on-cyber gallery looking at End of the World Pizza? We're going to be transitioning here shortly, talking some friend tech with Craig Coinpurse. And yeah, so please retweet the room. You're hearing everything coming through one microphone right now here on Spaces. You can retweet our Spaces room right now. And I just want to say what's up to K-Swag down there. Keep building, my friend. Emily as well, who saw at the people gathering. Dr. Doge not only listening, but I'll invite you up as a speaker. But he is up here. I don't have your video right now, Dr. Doge, in the Novoverse. So if you want to get some VR going, I can't see it right now. And also topshot.eth, want to say hello to you. And this is the Novoverse. Want to welcome all my aliens, apes, and zombies. The POAP is pizza, Pizza. If you're listening live, you have about 10 or 15 more minutes to claim that. You had about 13 people claim it prior. click a couple buttons here and see if there any more people have claimed it since then. But
Yeah, get that whitelist.
get that whitelist going. That can get you that pull-up will get you on the whitelist for End of the World Pizza, which on October 20th will be the real deal. We got two more people.
I think on the for next show, you should definitely go into the metaverse that they're building and spatial. I've seen some sneak peeks of it, and oh my god, it's like you didn't even know spatial was capable of this like quality and effects. It's insane.
Keep on building. That's what we're gonna do. Keep on building. Maybe even follow End of the World Pizza or at the End is Pie, and also myself, and I'm sure JR Token. Maybe we'll get like a giveaway going or something like that. We'll have to talk to Rob after the show, and maybe we can get like a giveaway or maybe an early entry or something along those lines for next week. So come on back next week for sure. But we're not done tonight because we got to talk some friend tech, and I got into it about 6 days ago. One, I was at Beeple, the Beeple studio. What was that? About 8 days ago. Man, that was awesome. It was about 8 days ago, and there I saw Emily, and I was talking like, "So you made it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's tough to get into funding, very much so." That good friend JOC, who's also down there listening, thank you. Give him some love. Follow him. He picked me up at the airport, and off we went to Beeple Studios. And one recommendation for me to help with funding is to get on Friend Tech and see what you can do and talk to people about spreading that alpha, spreading maybe the pictures or spreading the communication waves. And through those communication waves in Friend Tech and also from Storyverse, I came across Craig Coinpurse, and that's just Craig as I know him, and from that I was able to gain some knowledge on it and just sign up through pretty much him just breaking down the common verbiage, I guess, for Friend Tech and what it does, what it means, and what you can get out of it. So without further ado, Craig Coinpurse, how we doing, my friend?
Hey, good, my man. Thank you for, firstly, thank you, Novo, for inviting me up and getting to chat a bit and I suppose introduce myself. Like you said, we sort of met through I think I did a Spaces, didn't I, with Friend Tech, and you heard, might have been Storyverse. But funny enough, before I do a quick intro, I was saying to Novo the other day, interesting enough, it's funny how people cross paths. I had bought, I know Novo had lost his punk a little while ago, and I'd actually purchased the NFTs to help support him get his punk back. So not to get a round of applause for myself, I just, what I'm meaning by that is kind of funny how life brings you full circle. And then lo and behold, the guy's messaging me saying, "Hey man, I'd love to have a chat with you, and can you help me with this?" And yeah, so really cool. And I think that's one of the cool parts about Web3 is how we get to connect with people quite quickly, certainly compared to the corporate world out there, which could take a decade to come across quality people. So definitely appreciate you reaching out to me. That was quite surreal. Quick introduction, I suppose, about myself. I'll try not to talk too much. I'm a born salesperson, so I tend to ramble on. But I was in the corporate world a long time and decided I was sick and tired of selling for someone else and working for other people and blah, blah, blah. And I kind of had a bit of a disdain for the banking world and the financial markets. And I suppose I'm a bit of an anarchist in some sort of ways, and saw Web3 as an opportunity. And so I went into my boss's office one day, resigned. He couldn't believe it. He shat his pants and said, "I can't believe you're leaving." And he said, "When are you going?" And I said, "Well, as soon as possible." So I quit my job, no parachute, nothing to go to. That's one of the other things he said. He goes, "What are you going to?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to go. Don't know. I'm going to go and learn crypto." Which, looking back, I'm like, holy crap, what was I thinking? But I'm glad I did. And ended up in this world called Web3, for lack of a better term. And I sort of got into Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I was buying them up. And this was the end of 2020, start of 21. So bull market was starting to heat up, and I thought I was a genius, probably like a lot of us did. I got into crypto, and I remember saying to my wife, Jesus, why hasn't anyone done this sooner? All I do is put money in and I check it tomorrow and it's up 10%. It felt pretty smart for a while, and then I felt pretty stupid. I think it was May 21 when Elon Musk sent out a few texts saying they had sold a bit of Bitcoin and plummeted the market, and I shat my pants. And eventually came across NFTs, and being as I mentioned earlier, a comic book collector, I collected comics, cards, specifically X-Men was kind of my vibe. And then also figurines, so Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars fan. And Transformers, funny enough, that was a big part of my childhood. So always been kind of a collector at heart. And when I came across NFTs, it took a little while to click, but I think not as long as others. Although others click quicker than me by minting so many Bored Apes. And I've got a good story about not minting Bored Apes, which some of you may have heard before, where I had an opportunity to buy 6 of them for 0.7 ETH. Went and had lunch with my wife, and never came back and bought them. So that was good, but I wouldn't have sold the top.
That's an expensive lunch you had right there.
Oh man, it was a good sandwich, I'll tell you that much. But my wife's here in the kitchen probably laughing now. But got into NFTs, and I got into the space for what I thought it gave humanity as far as another way to transact, but also to make money. I've always been pretty upfront with that. I'm here to make money, but hopefully I can do it in a way that's with a bit of integrity. So I came into the space and, made all the mistakes we make. I was following influencers back then. I think it was Alex Becker. Was that the name? He was shilling NFTs, and I was like, I'm going to buy this. And obviously by the time you watch a YouTube video, I didn't quite realize that I was buying the tippy top. So I got wrecked a few times, but hey, I've still got some great art in my wallet, I suppose. But it really fell in love with the space. And the thing that I really loved about it was just the connections I made. I wasn't expecting that. That wasn't why I came. It was probably the greatest part about it for me now is I think NFTs did that probably more than crypto trading. And then getting involved with communities. And that's kind of when the penny dropped for me. In that I found the stickiness of NFTs quite phenomenal, that I didn't want to sell them. And I was like, man, why is this so hard to sell? And then also I didn't want to sell because I didn't want to lose, access to the Discord or the communities and things like that. So that's, I think, for me, the moment where I thought to myself, shit, there's more to this than a picture. So that was pretty cool. And then, sort of, for anyone who knows me, like I said, I'm here to make money. I do this full time, so I'm in a position, unfortunately, in some ways, where I have to make money. So I've got a 7-year-old son and a wife and a mortgage, so I do need to earn. So I tend to go where the volume goes. So probably disgusted a few people who were into NFTs with me, and I moved to shitcoins. I definitely copped a bit of flack for that. And I understand that about 3 years ago, people getting into shitcoins, I gave them shit too. But then I started looking at the volume and thinking, well, the money's moving away from NFTs to a point and to shitcoins, and the money was easier there. So went there and had to learn really quickly how to use, Uniswap and Maestro, and trying to avoid MEV bots. And that was the other thing that excited me about this space is the necessity to succeed required me to do rapid learning. And that's something I've always quite enjoyed. I suppose one of the positives about my personalities, but also the negatives, I'm extremely obsessive compulsive. So I will not stop, which is sometimes a bad thing, but with the pursuit of knowledge has been quite good. So long days, long hours, just dove deep into it, 16 hours a day, trying to research what the hell crypto was, going back, the things I said online. I can't believe I said some of the stuff. But I'm here now and super thankful to be 3 years later. And, I'm speaking to people, educating, which I never believed I'd be doing. I didn't think I'd be doing that, but I'm extremely grateful and thank you. And I think the word blessed is probably used a bit cheesy sometimes, but I definitely feel blessed to be here. I love the space, and I think sort of, if you find the right people that fall in love with the space, I'd never want to do anything to hurt the space, if that makes any sort of sense. So I hope I leave it better than I came. And, having a son, I hope crypto is going to be something that allows him freedom. And the things we see happening around in the world at the moment, as sad as they are, I truly believe crypto can make a difference for the positive. And, artists like Rob, that's just incredible to me. And I feel kind of funny being in a space like this, talking about friend tech, when you've got someone who's so creative and is making this beautiful art. It's definitely humbling, and it's quite a funny story. When I was 15, my teacher, we had in class asking what I wanted to do for a job, and I actually said comic artist, which wasn't one of the things you could pick back in school. My teacher was like, well, you'll never be that, and they were actually right. But I wanted to be a comic artist once upon a time, and I thought I was half decent, and then I met my wife, and she's a graphic designer and artist, and that's when I realized, no, I'm not very good at this. I probably won't become an artist. Look, guys, glad to be here. I suppose my little chat's about friend tech today. So Novo or anyone else, I don't know if you want to intervene, ask any questions before I fire away.
To reset the room, you see right up there, and if you're listening in on Spaces right now, Craig Coinpurse is up there. Feel free to follow. He's on mute on speaker because we are actually streaming live video as well up there, as you can see the Novoverse. And then you also have mixed in there End of the World Pizza. Feel free to scan that QR code. We have a couple minutes left for a free POAP with the word pizza, Pizza, about 3 or 4 minutes on that to claim that. But what some parallels that I want to rewind that I was taking notes here that I have with you. One, kind of like that sense of entrepreneur sense, collecting comic books, X-Men, almost same thing. I almost have a full run of them. 2, Web 2.0, got into buying and trading stocks using Web 2.0 products like E-Trade, when E-Trade came out, because I didn't know how to buy and sell stocks. You had to call a stockbroker prior to that. Mm-hmm. Saw the common parallel cyclical cycle with Web 3.0 and hopped on that bandwagon. And, prior to that getting on XRP before it got on Coinbase at like under 3 cents, I remember was something that I achieved, which turned into NFTs, which turned into, your meme coins or shit coins. And not saying following the volume, but yes, following the volume. If it was from Top Shot, if it was from different projects, and Friend Tech spurred interest in me. And when I was almost galactically speaking, when Emily spoke to me within the confines of Beeple Studio, and then 12 hours later, again, just you're speaking on Storyverse, I was just, all right, I'm in. Token, how do I get in on this? He's just like, well, this is very simple how to get in. Just sign up for it. And that's pretty much what I did 6 days ago. So I guess from here, take it away, Craig, like entry level for someone. Maybe we can do like what Friend Tech is, what they've kind of been doing this week, and maybe future outlook for it.
Yeah, sure. So just a quick, I suppose just a quick overview for those who don't know what Friend Tech is. It's really just a token or key gated access to rooms of people that are linked via Twitter. It went live about, it's week 9 now. So, I mean, I guess in a nutshell, to be able to talk to someone within those rooms, you have to buy their key. It used to be called shares, now it's called keys. And like I said, it came around about 2 months ago. I, funny enough, resisted it for the first probably 2 weeks. I had people messaging me, obviously a lot smarter than myself in hindsight, saying, you've got a following, Craig, you should be there, you can make money, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, oh man, Friend Tech sounds like shit. Token gating my room. How am I going to sell keys where people want to come and listen to me and blah, blah, blah. I just from speaking to people, I thought, you know what? Why don't, instead of me having a preconceived notion of what something is, why don't I go at least sign up, go and have a look what it is before I give it shit? Because I'd been through shit coins before, as I said prior, and I ignored them a cycle ago and hadn't made money that I could have. So I thought, well, if this is something that takes off, you know, I kind of, I suppose, pride myself on trying to be early to things because that's where I can make a living from. So signed up, and I started to look at the data, and data is something that, you know, anyone who follows me on Twitter would know I'm quite partial to data. You know, I come from a science degree background. So I had a lecturer that said to me, "In God we trust, and everyone else show me the references." So for me, that kind of really hit home. And I guess the moral of the story is don't trust anybody. So, you know, data, not feeling. So I thought, why don't I look at the data? And I was just seeing the amount of money that was going there. And I had noticed there was a decrease in shitcoins. The volume had started to decrease, and it was harder to get wins. And I run a Discord. I've got a Discord as well where I make calls and things like that, and also my Twitter. And I was finding it harder and harder to make calls that made me money and other people money. And that's normally a time where you've got to take a step back and not push things because you start wrecking people. So I checked Friendtech out, I signed up, it didn't quite click straight away. It was very clumsy, it was clunky, it was slow, it was shit, to be honest. But the data told me people were coming there and they were bringing money. And I was like, okay, so people bringing money there. I started noticing people's keys or share prices starting at, say, $5, and in an hour they were shooting up to $100. And I was like, well, shit, that's not bad money. You know, it's not massive money, but at the same time, if you pick up 2, 3, 4, 5 a day, you're starting to being able to avoid going to the office for the week. So I was watching that, and I was watching the TVL, the total value locked. So in shitcoin words, the market cap growing, which hit an all-time high last week of 52 million. So I was like, you know, going back, it was a lot less than that, but it was still in the millions. And I was like, well, there's millions of dollars flowing in here. I've got a lot of people on the ground level, you know, telling me this platform's shit, but then why is there so much money going here? You know, there's whales. I spoke to a couple of other people, and they mentioned there was, they were tracking wallets and where the money was coming from. And the money was coming from wallets that tended to invest in things early. And I was like, okay, hang on a sec. There's the average day human like me not quite getting it yet, but then there's wallets that have been in crypto a long time, and they tend to move big early. So I was like, okay, I'm going to put my ego and thought process to the side. I'm going to jump on. Like I said, I was studying the data. I was looking at the data. One of the other things that drew my attention was not only the flipping, but the airdrop that's coming in January. So similar to the Blur airdrop. So you use the platform every Friday. There's a snapshot that's taken. The weighting. Actually, I won't get into that. You get points. So you get a snapshot on the Friday, on the Thursday/Friday, and on the Friday you'll have points land in your account, and those points accrue over time. And in January, it's suspected or very much hinted, if not almost confirmed, by the owner that it will be a token airdrop. So that made me think again, well, this is not just an opportunity to flip, which I don't mind. I'm used to that with NFTs and shitcoins, but it's an opportunity to farm similar to Blur. Now, I never farmed a Blur. I just didn't have the capital.
I did something similar back in the day with the Rary and all those, and those were with like CryptoPunks. So then all of a sudden you're layering your CryptoPunk, and you're making, you know, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 transactions, and then you're getting 10, 20% on top of that back at the end of the month, or at the end of this, at the end of that. And that did create commerce. That did create money and industry for people to make derivatives, to put money in their pocket, to buy low, sell high, you know, and then it evolved to the next phase that had better percentages, better profit points, and it was following the money. I want to say what's up to JPV. Check out your keys because I got one of them. Ha 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 ha! I did a live buy here right behind the scenes. And I don't even know if I can show this live, but I am. And that's what
yeah, good man.
I'm going to add some friend tech love out there, and I'm adding value, I guess, in my case out there. Yeah, toss up those hearts, see what's going on. Dr. Crypto, what's going on down there, my friend? You feel free to follow me, and I can follow you on friend tech. Not saying I'm buying a whole bunch of keys, but there it is right up at the top. You can see it live action. And if you're not watching, you can watch this live up on the top videos, pin tweets, retweet the room, retweet the space. Take a pause for Dr. Doge or Avery Piper or Rob Shields or J.R.R. Token for a question about friend tech. I know.
Sure, you could all get my keys if you want. Everyone, go ahead, purchase my keys.
All right, so
go ahead.
Token, what are your keys? We'll tell everyone your keys because I own one of them. You're the first one I bought here. How do I find that? My watch list. No,
you
there.
Got to go to JR Token.
Yours says your keys.
Explore.
Your keys. Explore. All right. JRR Token. And that's, is it ETH there? There it is.
Hey, that's me.
And I own
everyone.
I want one of those right there. Oh, look, it's you a picture with you and Tony Herrera. Look at that. There's already apps embedded in there. Look at it. Is that how it works?
Hey,
is that like the Craig? Like you go there, you drop in, then there's just alpha waiting for you in there. Free apps, pictures of your friends.
It's different in every room, but certainly there are those quality rooms where A, there's good alpha. B, I think there's going to be a real movement toward artists coming soon, and I see that they're starting to be able to do minting or token gating if you own a key. So if you own a key, you'll be able to mint NFTs moving forward. So
I went to this one because this person is giving out free gibbets for your Crocs, and you put them, and you'll get a free gibbet with it right here. And it's of his Pudgy Penguin. So you can see that.
Cool.
And those are just like what I imagine friend tech is kind of that next wave of, Twitter DMs, good, great, grand, but what's that next wave? What's that next phase? How can you maybe make a little scratch for it? And that's J. Ape Mansfield that had the gibbets within there. Anyone else here on the panel that's talking? JR Token, you have yours. Craig Coin Purse. There. I can't afford yours, unfortunately, right now. So,
yeah, mine's.
You're a profit. So how do you get it? How does it? Why are you worth what you're worth? I guess.
Oh man, I ask myself the same thing every day. I guess you know what? In something so new, thought leaders are going to be worth the most. So I guess because I've been on the platform, because I've been on the platform a while now and quite early, I think my value comes from just understanding the, I thought you were going to hit buy there. I thought I was going to make a free sandwich. I think just because I've been there a while, people value my insight. And you hit the nail on the head, Novo. I just wanted to just quickly add on to something you said. One of the limitations I find with Twitter is the DMs. Now, I don't know if you guys find the same, but I get buried sometimes in that I have people reach out to me and I feel quite bad. I try and reply to everybody, but every now and then I'll scroll down and there'll be someone sent me a DM from 3 friggin' weeks ago, asked me a question and I've got to reply and I feel bad. And I think one of the problems that friend tech solves is that if you had someone that you really want to get in touch with or you look up to or you value their knowledge, you can buy their key. And what I found personally is when I bought keys of people that typically I couldn't really get an answer from on Twitter because I understand they get 1,000 a day, I could buy their key and I could ask a question and I was finding I was getting an answer depending on the time zones. I was getting an answer quite quickly within hours. So it allowed me to speak to people and I think also be in a room with people that typically I couldn't get in with. And the other thing that was powerful was if I was in a room with people that I respected, etc., if I ask a question and they quote reply me, everybody else in the room sees what I'm saying. And then they get to know me and see what my vibe is. So it's a great networking tool. It's a great way to be seen. And I mean, obviously I'm a fairly big advocate of it. money aside, the money making opportunity is fantastic. But I have found secondary to that has been the connections it's opened up, and rapidly. So you spoke about Emily. Obviously, I met her through Frentech. That's been a great relationship. Obviously, very smart girl. She can pay me later to have said that. But I was listening to her on Spaces, and I was just like, shit, she's a smart cookie, right? And she was educating me in areas that I hadn't thought about before. So Frentech for me has been another rapid learning experience. So for me, the value, even if it crashed tomorrow, the connections I've made will be much.
You and her. Look at that quarter ETH to buy keys. You guys.
I know. Funny enough, she won't like me. So maybe she's on a dip right now, so she's good value. She was upwards of almost 0.4 last week, but I think she had a couple of hold. We had a couple of holders, quite popular people, check out today, and I guess for lack of a better word, rug. There was a SIM swap incident. I don't know if you guys saw that on Twitter, and a few people used that as an opportunity to.
So
I think.
I guess that would be the now portion of it. So we talked about the passive, how you can kind of get on by tossing on there and getting your name on there, and that's like maybe one thing I can recommend to Dr. Doge, who's up on the panel today, is just like, Doge, you provide such great access to people trying to make anything in VR that now you should just start getting paid for it, dude, and start dropping tutorials in there. But then now with that, like currently speaking, there are SIM cards. So are you talking about SIM cards that are being pulled from phones that have been sold or brought back to the store type thing, or what?
Yeah, so with the SIM swap, and I mean, I was guilty of this now, but I've changed it now for those trying to be clever and get me. But basically, I signed up with my phone, and what people were doing were obviously calling the carrier, saying they've lost their SIM or their device, swapping it to another, and then they had access to your account. They were then selling off everybody's keys and then transferring the ETH to a wallet that they owned. So that, just like NFT founders were having done, a few months ago, and the same vulnerabilities occurred on this app. But one thing I can say is the team acted very quickly, and by the next day you had the ability to change it to and other formats through Google or through email verification. So everybody who's listening right now, I'd encourage you to jump on Frentech. You can go to if you go to the wallet settings, and you can I think it's called manage login methods. Get it off mobile ASAP, like right now, and that way you won't have that vulnerability. But what I was sort of alluding to is when that SIM swap attack was happening, I think a few people.
The two options again within there are the Google linking in through a Google account, and then the other one is mobile login. So you can manage your login methods, and you're recommending taking it off the mobile and keeping it just on the Google.
So you can go Google or Apple ID as well if you prefer that one, but definitely get it off phone.
And that is in there. If you click on the top right, I guess I can pull my screen up there. I didn't want to have any personal information, but my really personal information is not on there outside of my Google login, which is all crypto Novo stuff. So in the top right, the ETH, ETH and the ETH amount that is in there. And there again, if you're looking on my screen, ladies and gentlemen, I haven't done anything in this. All I've done is communicated with people, and you can see the treasury, which has grown because of how the networking system set up. And then there's manage login methods right there. So you can change your manage login methods. You can also log out or export the wallet, and it shows the portfolio value, your trading fees earned as well.
The trading fees earned are quite interesting, aren't they? Quite good for someone who's not really pumping it out.
I'm speaking with you. I speak with Emily. I put a couple tweets here and there. But then again, I guess I am providing content. We are providing content towards people who are learning a little bit about this. Adding possible safety features for people listening. So yeah, we are adding to the system of what Frentech is evolving towards being, and also playing the game as well. Because I a couple minutes ago bought JPV for listening. Thank you. I bought your keys, a key from you 11 minutes ago. So thank you. Anyone else here on the panel have, we have J.R. Token who shouted out his keys.
Yeah, I mean, I have 0.002 ETH of traded earned fees, so that's awesome.
Let's pump them up.
Yeah, let's ramp them up. Everyone listening, go and
Yeah,
smash
guys,
the buy
come
button.
on. Look, do you know what you get when you invest in my keys?
It's
It's
probably gonna go right.
I could give you insults, or I could give you compliments, like whichever you prefer.
You're
That's
gonna get
what
POAPs.
you'll access.
You're gonna get POAPs. You're probably gonna take that anyways, and buy some more AR comic books from the End of the World Pizza, and that's at The End Is Pie. You can check that out on the pinned tweet at the top. You have my friend Tech tweet at the top as well. Avery Piper, any interest in hopping in Friend Tech? Gonna wait off and see. What are your thoughts on it right now from outside looking in?
No, yeah, I've learned a lot tonight. First of all, I'll definitely check it out. I think I'm not much of a tweeter. I definitely, if I'm to pick it up, or if there's going to be some kind of alpha, maybe it'll be for like one of my projects that I do. But yeah, definitely down to like check it out more.
I didn't know.
My money,
Yeah, I didn't know if I had enough time to do like another platform, and like do it.
Yeah.
But just adding on it actually is something that I do look forward to coming home, and like it's almost like I don't know, it just gives me that re-energetic vibe of I guess following that money, like Craig said, and see where it is, and seeing that transition, that takeover, and there's a whole bunch of organic tweets that went out there from people who, I don't know, there's different rating and ranking systems of, who's getting popular, who's
There's my chart.
and what is this? Venice5.eth.
Yeah, that's one of my holders. Oh, you're on there too, Novo. How good's that? Yeah, look at the recovery.
and it's cool, and it's just like it makes it interesting, and they put detailed graphs in there, and like points of entry for different people, and you have your CryptoPunk behind it, and here's Craig Coin Purses, and I asked nothing of it. It just popped up, and I gave it a retweet because I enjoy seeing that, and I feel adding value to people who may have not been or could not have listened just by dropping POAPs of tonight's show in there. There again, that helps out Rob as well, who is an artist and a successful thing. So all those things are going to go to the whitelist. So there again, it's adding value to the purpose of it. Very similar to what I've been doing in Twitter for years, and all Twitter has given me throughout the years is a platform to talk on, which is plenty, but I still pay for it. I have a badge to pay for that access to do that. But now people can pay for access for content that I'm providing towards others. So if you want to hang out after the show, anyone who is listening, I will be there in Friend Tech to answer any questions, AR filter questions about how to get on the whitelist for the End Is Pie. But you can also get onto the Discord at End of the World Pizza, that wonderful Discord, and sign up for that as well. And Token, when did you get in Friend Tech here? When was your entry date? Can you like buy your own keys? Is that something you can do?
Yeah, that's one of the strategies. Yeah,
I should have just done that right off the get.
Man, definitely.
My own bets on myself. Yeah, because someone bought up like 20.
Yeah, I jumped on it early. I mean, I jumped on it just to more watch what was going on. But I got ideas for it. But
August 23rd. But well, how about for the next time we chat, we bring up some of those topics, because I would love to hear that. Maybe that's a good transition to what's next, Craig. What's next happening within Friend Tech? Maybe even just like what's next as far as next week. I know a little bit of alpha beginning of the year, maybe an airdrop. I'm at least going to stick around for that, because a lot of times what they'll do is they'll redistribute the funding for it. So like a lot of times if they're making hundreds or millions or hundreds of millions of dollars, then sometimes they give that back to people who maybe either hold keys or just entry level or just So like I'm interested at least until that point in hanging around, and I'm meeting interesting people like yourself and learning more in kind of a market that there's not so much going on in the sense that, you know, there's cool things that I'm still collecting and buying and purchasing, but like nothing where there's a huge outrage of that community effort per se that, you know, you'd see, you know, back in the day with people rallying behind maybe either a Bored Ape Fest or a significant drop coming out. So what's next in the Friend Tech verse?
Well, yeah, what's next? I think like you said, the most exciting part I think that people are waiting for is obviously the airdrop, which will be in January. So it is a little while away. You know, I think you're looking at about 12, 14 weeks. So I think it's the exciting thing about that is it's an opportunity to potentially earn a little bit of money for very little outlay. So I'd even encourage people just to jump on FriendTech, sign up. You get to buy your first key for free. Maybe chuck on, you know, $50 on there and just let that slowly farm away. And, you know, it may not be a massive amount you earn, but it could be a decent amount you earn. What's coming up as far as just say next week, I'm noticing that returning users are growing and new users are, or as of yesterday, there was a 3x on new users coming to the platform. So the growth is massive. And there was a bit of a dip on the market cap or TVL during the SIM swap debacle, but that's starting to go up now. So I think confidence has returned to the platform. And yeah, so look, I've heard people speak about wanting to build on top of the base layer and on FriendTech. There was word about a DeFi platform coming. Flu was speaking about that for people that know Flu from San. He'd probably be better to speak about that. But as far as what's coming for me, the exciting thing is just the growth of the platform, the TVL growing, the market cap growing, and the users growing. I think they're at about 360,000 users now, if I'm right, which is a lot, and that's growing exponentially. And there's a lot of sidelined ETH being held there as well, which is exciting. And just to give you a bit of an example, the FriendTech TVL at the moment is higher than the Blur TVL when Blur did the airdrop. So there's still 3 months for that TVL to grow. So the potential for the airdrop to be lucrative is massive. Now, I can't say it will be massive. All I can say is the potential's there. And for anyone who's looking to make money in this market, potential's a good enough word for me. That's all I'm looking for is potential. There's no certainties. Well, there's a couple of certainties in life, but I don't really like either of them. And another interesting one I found recently or semi-recently was the fees in the top 25 projects in all market sectors based on daily fees. Ethereum number 1, Tron number 2, Lido Finance number 3, and FriendTech number 4, which is greater than Bitcoin and Uniswap. So the fees that FriendTech is accruing daily is higher than Bitcoin, Uniswap, BNB.
So you're saying the money they're making off microtransactions
Correct.
are outpacing the other platforms, which are, you know, pretty much slow networks right now because people aren't sharing files.
It's 10x. It's 10x OpenSea at the moment.
And the user count is significantly a lot lower. Avery Piper, thanks. I know you got to bounce, my friend.
Thanks, Avery.
Fun day. Yes. And
I do have to bounce as well. Have a good one.
Right back at you.
Definitely more to come. Alpha in the keys. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Token.
Peace.
Next Sunday, hopefully we'll be back with you as well. So you're seeing uptrend within users, within the money flowing in, and then I'm almost seeing it staying within the ecosystem right now, as you're saying, because there's not a huge outlets unless it's people personally, taking it out,
Yeah, there's nothing within the chart that would give me any reason to be concerned. It's, there's ebbs and flows of all of this, and people are going to take profit, and people are going to, the odd person's going to rug, and they're going to pull 10 ETH out the ecosystem. So you're going to see a drop in market cap, but all of that is standard across. I mean, NFTs do the same thing if you're going to chart them. So people take profits. We hit an all-time high last week, and we're only about, I think we're about 10% off all-time high. So even with the SIM swap debacle and things like that, and the odd person rugging, there's still, all I can say is it looks to me like no one's fleeing. Inflow of money is now starting to increase, so we are starting to see a net positive. And I think over the next 3 months we're gonna see fireworks. So I'm just glad to be there. I think it's an opportunity. I wish I had farmed Blur harder originally. I missed out there. I got a little bit, but not nearly as much as I could have. So I kind of think of this as another chance to do a little bit of honest farming, and just by being on this. And I think I also want to be in this space just to help guide people and give people a chance not to get their ass handed to them. So I kind of I've been pushing Friendtech. I like what I see there. I like the potential to make money, and I'm going to stick around just to help onboard people. And not even people that are buying my key. I don't mean that. And to anyone listening, you don't have to buy my key for 0.25 ETH. Just send me a DM on Twitter, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have that might make you feel comfortable with the platform, or maybe I'll tell you things that make you not go there. But certainly reach out. I've been on there now for a good sort of 6-7 weeks. I don't know everything about it, but I'm semi-comfortable, and I'm an honest person. So if you ask me a question, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, and if I will tell you straight. So it's not about me pitching people to come on the platform. I think it's great, but people might come to me and give me valid reasons why I shouldn't be there. So, but definitely jump in my DMs on Twitter rather than buy my key if you like. That'd be great, but. I understand times are tough for some people, and well, for everyone actually. So give me a DM, happy to answer as much as I can. And I've made a commitment to do a lot more spaces now. I've got a couple of people I'm speaking with to do Friendtech spaces sort of around the 2 to 4 times a week.
Maybe we start plugging that in here, and then we can start having that Q&A live action, another platform to listen in on. And we can just come back next Sunday as well, and
I'm happy to, man.
The of end of the world pizza. We can talk about what's next with Friendtech, and then just knowing, because I go on Storyverse on Mondays to kind of listen of what's happening in the week. That's like my news reporting, and why not hear right from the content provider's mouth yourself?
I think so.
Don't know what's going on, and the education process of that, to know the ups, the downs, the ebbs and the flows, because it seems like you have a good pulse not only on this and other things, and even the point of like, I'm sure you'd be able to tell us when it's time just to get out.
Oh man, definitely.
It's not looking good, but it seems like things are getting layered on top, and that's what you're looking for. Decentralized platform already based upon an economy with an Ethereum-based structure to pay people for adding value towards the community of Friendtech.
Totally agree. I think there's still runway. There's still time. It's not too late.
We're going to tune it down. I'm going to actually have the end of the world pizza trailer play for our outro here tonight. If you're just tuning in late, or you want to retweet the room, or you want to watch it, it's up there in the Novoverse. You can retweet that. Also, Friendtech Connections, Craig Coin Purses, Clickety Doodah FT down there. It's Friendtech / Craig's Coin Purse, just like his Twitter handle is. For myself, mine is up there at the top as well. Maybe we've inspired Rob to get on there, so maybe he'll have a Friendtech coming out, so we can make some connections in there in the AR and comic book realm, because he is making the best stuff in the world, which we talked about was in Pizza Hut. I was lucky to get driver number 33, And that's kind of it started way back in the day for us, is the Twitter DMs and being able to get in Discords, and how it's evolving now into Friend Tech. So Rob, I appreciate you coming on and sharing, the end of your roadmap and the awesome success of End of the World Pizza. Anything to say between now and next week?
Yeah, thanks. I don't have
You good? No, perfect. We can hear you. Sounds perfect.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I just want to say, Craig, the information. And I don't know that much about Friend Tech. I've heard people trash it. That was my introduction. It was people like just throwing shade on it, so it kind of gave me. But like, it's good to hear somebody that's actually in it, like talk about it and like a better sense of it. So I appreciate you doing that. I'm almost there. It's like I'm at the point where I need to put the ETH into the wallet, and I need to do that to go back so that I can take my my foot off of it. Page that, and I'm going to join it and try it out. So
awesome, dude. Yeah, I'll definitely grab your key when you jump on.
Yeah, you don't even need ETH to start. You can just take that phone number off, and it's you can just start entry. It just you're there. They give you you're there for free, so people can purchase in for you. You don't even need to put ETH in there. So, and I know you have a lot going on between this week and next week, so stay tuned to all the tweets and tweets from myself. We'll be retweeting and helping the family here at End of the World Pizza conclude the roadmap with AR comic books. And on the pin tweet there, make sure you're scanning those QR codes. I mean, it's free, awesome content. And if you didn't get the POAP, DM me. I can get those POAPs going. And if you're in Friend Tech, those POAP links are already in there. I guess that's the added value of Friend Tech. They're already in there. And I really want to do this again next week. This was awesome and fun. And we'll probably just pull up some Q&A from our Friend Tech listeners. And maybe we'll have a little gift giveaway for End of the World Pizza. So it's Crypto Novo here. I want to say good night to all my aliens, apes, and zombies. Stay positive and love life. Peace. Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up now. We'll get some Q&A going for next week. That's it. So tune in next week. We'll be back up here. JPV, I saw that you had your hand up to ask some questions. We'll just pull all those in next week. That's it. I'm gonna say thanks once again, Rob and Craig. We had Dr. Kujan, we had JR Token, Avery Piper, and from the Novoverse. Stay positive and love life.
See you, fam. Ciao.
Oh, balloons and everything. Love it. And this, thank you again.